Analysis by analysis. That's what you get from the other guys, but not here, not now, and not ever. This is the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. A look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, is brought to you by BCWSA, The Pines Tavern, Penn Community Bank. We now go live for the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, welcome to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA, right on the water. I love pulling up here and then looking across. That'd be pretty cool to live out here.
It
right?
would, wouldn't it?
Right on the water.
Yeah. Except if you're playing golf and you hit them in the water all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That voice right here is my co-host, Tommy Greene. Tita, we got a great show lined up today as the Phils are
Fun
aiming.
and games.
Phils, I know you love that title.
Yeah,
Never
it
gets
kills
old.
me.
Phils are aiming to win the National League East today, and it takes a win by Zach Wheeler against his former team on national TV. I'm feeling the vibes. It's going to happen tonight, and we're hoping to get a bye in the first round of the playoffs with only 7 games left, and I'll tell you how we can do that. If you're in the Bristol area, please stop in and say hello to Chris Ermer, myself, and Tommy, and our great bartender, Ashley, right now, who's putting up the specials and made you a great Bloody Mary that you're not going to drink until after the show.
That's exactly
so
right.
to violate FCC violations. But we are looking forward to it. We're getting some veggie pot stickers, and we got some meatballs.
You get fried pickles, too?
Fried pickles, too. So look at the food here is great. Looking forward to it. All right, we're going to do a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the week in Phillies baseball. Although we were 3-4, there was
I didn't like that. That's the part I didn't like. Yeah.
No, but there's some positives to take out of it. We'll give you some news and stats around the league and a standing schedule update. But one of the games we'll get into at some point is probably – now, I do a podcast, as I said before, with Tom Burgoyne, backstage at Burgoyne and Brazer. We've had you on as a guest.
Best friend of the Fanatic.
Best friend of the Fanatic.
Yep.
And we interviewed Rick Wise. Rick Wise.
Oh, Rick, huh?
Rick Wise had arguably the greatest game in baseball history because he threw a no-hitter. And he hit 2 home runs.
2 home runs in the same game.
2 home runs.
He won the game himself.
And a no-hitter, right?
Yeah.
I thought that could never be topped. There's actually a game that's in the running for that.
Oh, dude.
Ohtani's game.
Ohtani is, like, unbelievable.
This week, like, I'll go through that game, and we got to decide who had a better game. Rick Wise or Shohei Ohtani, right? Because we'll get into that later. We won't get into it now.
Yeah.
We are going to get you set up for tonight's big game, national televised game, 7 o'clock, ESPN against the Mets. Again, Zach Wheeler facing against his former team. And we might even talk little Eagles because the Eagles are playing in an hour against the suddenly hot New Orleans Saints.
Suddenly hot. No, they just opened up the season rolling.
Yeah, but I don't think the expectations were that high. I mean, they got David Carr, who, he's
a journeyman.
Good quarterback, journeyman a little bit. Most people know him from the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then, they got Kamara, who's like 105 years old.
That's all right, though. That dude can play.
He won me a fantasy championship like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, he can play.
And he's still
it sounds like to me that their offensive line is doing the job because they run the ball.
Well, right, and they also have a new offensive coordinator. So this is not, for Eagles fans, this is not going to be an easy game. It's in New Orleans, which is tough, and we're coming off Monday nights. We didn't get a whole lot of rest, I guess, but this is a game that's, man, if we could win this one, it would be good because then we go in the Tampa game next week at Tampa. So, and they're tough too. Baker Mayfield, they got Mike Evans.
I have defensive front four about to change the page today.
Well, that's the key because we're not getting the pressure on the quarterbacks. And
you either got to get pressure on the quarterback or stop the run.
Right, and then they're not doing either.
Yeah.
So, we got to get going there. All right, let's back to the Phillies, Tommy.
Let's go.
I'm going to talk about my wacky weekend. Are you ready? And it was baseball Phillies related.
Oh, I know. I saw the pics.
All right, so Friday night.
And the videos.
Friday night, Chris Hermer, you'll like this. Friday night, I went to see Mount Joy. Now, Mount Joy is a great band. For those that don't know, really, really good. They're in kind of the Lumineers, kind of that type band, right?
Yeah. I've never seen them, so I
really
heard you
good.
talk about them.
They're a rock band. Well, first of all, the lead singer, Matt Quinn, and the lead guitarist, Sam Cooper, are from Philadelphia. They went to Conestoga.
Okay.
Right? So my buddy, John Hurd, has been a teacher there for 27 years. So he actually, I think he had one of the two, and they knew him, right? So I decided to take my buddy John. My wife was down in Hilton Head. My daughter is down and visiting Clemson for a school visit. So I was kind of solo, so I had a free weekend. Team's away. So I went with my buddy John Hurd, the teacher of Conestoga, and then
That's dangerous, Brace.
my sister and my niece, who came down from Boston to see my mom, but also they had a free night. And then my niece is a huge Mount Joy fan, huge. Now these guys are big. They're playing Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
They already played Red Rocks. I mean, they're a big.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
sold out the Man. This is a big band. So I had interviewed Matt and said, hey, I do a pregame segment every Monday on the Phillies radio on WIP, and I usually ask 20 quick questions to celebrities. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. I've had John Oates from Hall
Brandon
Notes.
Graham's awesome, dude.
Miles Teller will be on tomorrow night.
Really?
I interviewed him, yep. So
Tell him I said hello. I
interviewed-
met him that one time with you.
Yeah, so I interviewed Matt Quinn, the lead singer, and I said, one of the questions was, if the Fanatic jumped up on stage and you didn't know about it, what would you do and what would your reaction be, right? So he said, oh, my God, we've been subtly trying to pull this off for years.
Yeah.
We would totally embrace it and would love it. So I asked him the rest of the interview ends, and I said, all right, were you dead serious in that? He said, yeah. I said, well, if Tom Burgoyne, who's the best friend, he drives the Fanatic.
Yeah.
If Tom Burgoyne
has to. I don't want the Fanatic behind the wheel, man.
Yeah, you don't want the Fanatic behind the wheel.
No.
I said, if Tom Burgoyne is available, I will see. So I asked Tom. He said, yes, me and the Fanatic are available. So Friday night, we go to the show. Second set. Now, again, obviously,
I bet you this was hilarious.
This was not promoted by the band. It was not promoted by
Nobody
the Phillies.
knew.
Nobody knew. So next thing you know, during the second set, the Fanatic jumps up on stage to a cover of Dancing Queen. And it was a great cover. And the Fanatic gets up there and was absolutely hilarious. What
did the crowd do?
Was a crowd went completely bonkers. They absolutely loved it. And the Fanatic was going up to this female piano player and was like pretending to hit on her, and then was like grabbed the guitarist's backup guitar. This is all not scripted either. And probably the guitarist looking at him going, dude, don't mess with that one.
Don't mess with that one.
At the end of the song, he pretended he was going to Pete Townsend smash it, and then the guitarist's like, oh, no, and then he's kidding around. He fell down the ground. His feet are up in the air, during the song. It was absolutely, I'll show you the video, absolutely hilarious. You can go on Mount Joy's Instagram and check it out. Really cool.
How does the best friend of the Fanatic, Tom Burgoyne, keep that guy straight?
I tell you what, man, what a job that you're able to have a
That's
job.
unbelievable.
Yeah, you have a job where you can actually jump up on stage and jam with a band. Like, is that the greatest job in the history?
That's unbelievable.
I mean, Tom Burgoyne's there, but he's overseeing the Fanatic. But the Fanatic is, I guess he's an employee, right? So if I'm the Fanatic, that's pretty cool, right? You come from the Galapagos Islands and you get to go jam with Mount Joy.
I saw the video when you were sending pictures of him up on stage, and I was like, oh, my God.
It was great. And
then
then also –
that's got to be so cool. The people there probably went nuts.
Well, also then, like a couple songs later, Nick Nurse, the head coach of the 76ers, is a musician. So Nick Nurse got up there and played – they did a version of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, and Nick Nurse took over the piano. Piano?
Oh, cool.
He plays guitar and piano, but he played piano.
That's talent there, man.
Right, and the crowd went nuts too. So it was a super cool night. That was Friday night. Saturday night, last night, my wife comes in. I pick her up at the airport, and we go right to the ballpark.
Whole pass over.
And even though I see 100 baseball games a year, I decided, what do? I pay for another baseball game. I just thought of something. When you work for the Phillies for over 25 years in Major League Baseball, you get a gold card. You can get in any baseball game free, right?
If you work for them.
Yeah, I do. I've got a gold card.
You got a gold card.
If I want to go to Fenway, I can go get in there free, right? But I guess that doesn't apply for Savannah Bananas. Because I went to the Savannah Bananas game last night. I should say show. It was a show.
That wasn't a baseball game. It was a show.
It was. I'm telling you, my wife had always wanted to go to a Savannah Bananas game, so we went last night.
It's a production.
It's a complete production. Those that don't know, Savannah Bananas is like the Harlem Globetrotters. Think Harlem Globetrotters baseball. But the other team is trying to win. They're the party animals.
Yeah.
So they're not unlike the Washington Generals, where Harlem Globetrotters don't lose a game.
Yeah.
The party animals, and there's dancing. The umpires dancing like between pitches.
People
like,
taking off clothes.
People
it sounds
taking the pitchers are taking off shirts, and like guys coming up with sleeveless shirts. Guys going out there, a ball will go out in the outfield, and a guy will flip and then catch it. First baseman will go between his legs and catch it. The shortstop will either do a flip or catch the ball behind his back. They're doing all kinds of like crazy stuff, crazy athleticism. And then
that stuff we used to do, but we did it in practice.
And dancing.
We didn't ever
and it was all scripted.
Like on the field.
One team, like one guy will come up to bat and like he'll be like pretending to sing like Rick Astley in the hole. He's got an entourage behind him, his players, and they're all when he's dancing up to the home plate. The there's all kinds of like they have baby races. They've got all again. It's minor leagues on steroids. It was kids loved it.
I'll tell you what. One of the best games I ever saw was up at Coca-Cola Park field. I mean, the AAA game.
Minor league games are great.
And I'll tell you what, it was. I mean, it wasn't crazy like the bananas. That's crazy to me, stupid stuff. But it was, entertaining for the fan, for the family to come to a minor league ball game, because there was something going on. It seems like all the time, but it wasn't stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, this is on steroids, and like I'm telling you, there a lot of kids just absolutely loved it. A lot of teenagers. My wife's like, man, I wonder why it's like Chippendale guys playing baseball, because they're all like, in her mind, hot. And so it was, and then if a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out. So like everyone roots for a fan to catch a foul ball.
Oh, they're going to eat it.
You have to catch it clean. So really fun last night. And again, it's one of the hardest tickets in town. They go all over the place. They travel, but they also play in Savannah, Georgia. So really fun. I
played there. I mean, just touching on that again was, I mean, many minor league ballparks I've ever played in coming up through the minor leagues, you see a lot of different things going on. They try everything to draw fans to the stadium and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see a minor league ballpark. I mean, I know our AAA ballpark up there.
It's great. And then also
Reading, they do a good job up there. And Reading too. Reading's unbelievable.
Takes it to a new level.
Yeah.
Reading's one of the most infamous minor league parks. And if you go there, it's very affordable. And it's really fun.
And that's what's so good about it. Yeah, families can go and really enjoy it and get quality baseball.
And you're seeing the future stars of the Phillies. Because if you're at AA, you've got a great chance of making it at some point.
Well, you got a great chance, and you're seeing good baseball being played. So. And
last night, it was cool because for the Savannah Bananas, it was perfect timing because there was a 1990 – or no, sorry, that would be you. There was a 2008 card show at Parks Casino right near here. And it happened to be during the day.
Yeah.
So Savannah Bananas took advantage of that. So Jamie Moyer was a surprise guest, and he got out there and he threw an inning.
Jamie still can throw.
Joe Blanton was a surprise guest. He came out there and threw on the mound. Shane Victorino did a surprise appearance, which is cool. And then they have, like, I guess they hide someone in a gold, it looks like a boxer in a gold hoodie. And they say it's the golden ticket that you can bypass the batting order and have if you have the golden ticket. And they had guys on base, and Ryan Howard was the guy. You couldn't tell who it was. Then he took off the gold sweatshirt, and that was Ryan Howard. Crowd went nuts, and he struck out.
Yeah, stay hot.
Stay hot. No, that was great. It was great to see Ryan and Shane and all those guys. Really fun. So, all right, you can listen to the show on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM. Your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County. You can also watch the show at WBCBsports.com or search WBCB Sports on YouTube, the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Also, Tommy considered a career at Septa. Septa is hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, coming up on the show, we'll get into the 3-4 week, but it starts off with a bang because that Sunday night was against the Mets. Sunday afternoon against the Mets was playoffs baseball at its finest. And we'll talk all about that when we get back. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA.
Generation Z members and millennials with young families. If you're looking for a great place to dine and watch all your favorite sporting events and you can't afford Center City restaurant prices, then settle back at the Pines Tavern in Bristol Borough. This is the place to take your family, including your children, for affordable, top-quality food, including their homemade meatloaf, pan-seared chicken breast, or their fish and chips, and plus many other dinner options. The Pines Tavern also has great sandwiches, like their South Philly pork or their Angus burgers. Multiple TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events, and check out their Facebook page for live entertainment. The Pines Tavern, here yesterday, here today, and proud to serve the next generation of families at the Fork in the Road at Radcliffe Street in Bristol. Open 7 days from 11:30 a.m. and Sundays from noon.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
At Penn Community Bank, our commitment to helping our customers and communities grow and thrive drives everything we do. Whether you are just starting out or setting new goals, we have the checking solutions that can flex to your needs at any life stage. And for a limited time, you can earn a $300 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. I'm John Brazer, joined by my buddy and co-host Tommy Greene and Chris Ermer.
That meatball's the size of your head, by the way.
We got Ashley here bartending, yes, with a great food. I've tried the pot stickers, great. Tried the fried pickles.
That was good.
Right, good. I'm staring at the meatballs, and I'm just like.
They're about the size of your head.
Yeah, I am. They look pretty good. And they also have a lot of vegetables in there.
Yeah.
That is good. Can't wait. If you're in the Bristol area, please stop by Pines Tavern. All right, Tommy, we'll talk about the week in baseball, some good, some bad.
And ugly.
But it put us in position for what we needed to do.
Yeah.
The game on Sunday night. So we had the game obviously
last Sunday. Yeah.
Last Sunday. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, it was playoff atmosphere. We needed the game big time. And again, it had that feel because it was scoreless through 7 innings.
Yeah, I mean, great start by Sanchez, man.
Sanchez had he's really good at home. I mean, his stats at home are unbelievable. I mean, they are skewed. His home and away are skewed. But I tell you what, Sanchez went 7 innings pitched, kept the ball low, gave up only 6 hits, had 1 walk, gave up 1 earned run, 7 Ks, and the one was a home run.
And see, to me, is how don't you win that ball game, get a win for that guy?
Well,
you know
unfortunately, unfortunately, yes, you're right.
I mean, he seems to be the tough luck guy a little bit, doesn't he, as far as that's concerned? Because what's his record? You know, I have to look and see. He's a little bit over 500, isn't he?
Well, I'll tell you exactly. His record is, let's see.
Let me look.
I think his record is, it's close to 500. Sanchez is basically 11-9.
And, I mean, for the type of year he's had and the way he's pitched,
right,
he should be like 13 and, 14 and whatever, maybe more,
You're exactly right. So
with the type of offense we do have, the capability of.
Yeah, and we needed this win big time to kind of just keep the Mets off our back. And, it didn't look good because, again, our offense was not doing anything. Sanchez in the 8th inning gave up a home run to Tyrone Taylor.
Yeah. Then they got him out of there.
But then the bottom of the 8th, what I love about this season is that the season's had just so many different guys that have contributed.
Yeah.
Whether it's, Cody Clemens or whether it's Cal Stevenson.
Yeah.
In this regard, it was Kennedy doubled to the left, and he scored Wilson. Wilson scored, and Wilson had a big hit, going in to get that going.
Yeah.
So crowd's going nuts, yelling, "Buddy, buddy!"
So good for him, man.
So good for him. And then Edwin Diaz must hate the Phillies because we seem to do well against Edwin Diaz, and
until yesterday.
Well, right. And Casty again has been just one of our best players in the second half of the season.
Hadn't he?
Really has.
I'm happy for that guy. I mean,
a
little bit because he's been beat on, and it's all right to get on a guy, but they were on him pretty heavy and hard for a while, and he stuck with it. Didn't he kind of learned at the beginning of his first year here. He kind of learned a little bit what it was like, and hey, shut up and play. You don't want to hear none of that, and that's what he has done.
And he is a streaky player, but he's been consistent really the second half of the season. He's really won us a lot of games, and he's been great. So anyway, the 9th inning, we're tied 1-1.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into extra innings for it. You don't know what can happen. No. So
not with the way the game's played these days with the ghost runners and all that crap.
So
don't get me started.
Harper leads off and strikes out. Then Castellanos singles, right? Bohm strikes out, but on this swing, Castellanos, who's not fastest of Fleet, but he's fast enough. He's not slow, but he's not fast. Castellanos stole second. So now you have 2 outs, and you have Real Muto up, but Castellanos put him in position.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is Real Muto gets up there. I think he had 2 strikes on him, and he gets the hit, and crowd goes nuts.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Wait, we were home, right?
I think so. Yeah.
We were home.
We were home.
So
he gets the hit and pushes the run over, right?
Yeah, and I tell you what, just Real Muto, same thing. He's starting to heat up a little
at the right
bit.
time. I mean, coming off his injury and stuff like that. It's took him a while as far as hitting wise, but he's starting to, he's clicking in a little bit right now.
It's so valuable having
JT.
It's so valuable, and maybe that rest, because JT is a guy that plays a lot. Maybe that not rest, but he was hurt, but maybe that because he was forced rest. Maybe that's going to help him as we're gearing up for the playoffs, right?
I was watching him yesterday run when he went from first to third.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for a catcher to run the way he does.
Yes.
Our catchers, and we've talked about it before.
Yes,
but
Stubbs fast too.
It's unbelievable. And I mean, see, JT went through surgery earlier this year on that knee, and for him to go through what he's had to go through to rehab to get it back, he had to get through that mental battle about turning it on and going full board, and that's what he has to do. And because he runs the bases as good as anybody.
Yes, he does.
And because he's got that speed and stuff, and that's a huge asset, to have that on base, as a catcher.
Agree. And what I like too is that he
it's like Dutch back in the day. Dutch could run, even though he had bad knees. Dutch could run.
I like the fact that Bohm and JT are very good when there's a clutch situation and you just need to put the bat on the ball
Well,
right up the
Ball's
middle.
one of the best
or-
fastball hitters.
Yeah.
I mean, in baseball. I mean, it's what it's proven
And
as far as
JT's
the average and stuff like that. He gets the job done.
And JT's good, too, about putting the bat on the ball. But, again, going back to Castellanos, each of Nick Castellanos' last 4 home runs have tied the game or given the Phillies the lead.
That's called clutch, dude.
That is called clutch. That is Casty. So, and then we score that walk-off run. Great way to take 2 or 3. Again, basically
that was a huge series.
That put the clamp on New York. No matter what happened in the series, even if we lost all 4, that pretty much was their death knell for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So great. I mean, a very much needed game. Then we go into a big series against the Brewers.
Yeah.
Now this one didn't go very well. Suarez was pitching, and Milwaukee got off to a 3-0 lead. After 4. So again, Suarez didn't have his best stuff. We got to get him going, and we'll talk about last night's game.
He kept us in the ball game.
He kept us in the game. He went 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks.
But we didn't score but 2. So there's.
Yep. Alvarado got lit up, or not lit up. He gave up 2 runs, and then Banks gave up a run. So it was one of these games. March. The only positive, March had a home run. And we did have 11 hits.
We had a bunch of hits.
We had 11 hits.
We couldn't push them over.
But we were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and that was basically the game.
Yeah.
Right there. We couldn't get the hits when we could. So we lose that game 6-2. So now this puts pressure on us again. Brewers are chasing us for that one of the last bye spots, right, to get the top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
So this next game was so important. Tuesday night. And we had Zach Wheeler on the mound. When you have a big game that you need, who better to have on the mound, just like tonight?
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler. And Zach Wheeler pitched a phenomenal game. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run.
Yeah.
And then Strom and Hoffman shut it down.
How about Strom, man?
Yeah, and Fighting Phil's had 10 hits. It was good to see that. Turner with 3.
The last few games I've seen, things I look at, too, there's been no errors.
Right.
That's
it's been
the
clean.
huge thing. I mean, that was a huge over those 2 games and stuff like that. You see them starting to play fundamentally
sound
good
baseball.
Yeah, as far as on the defensive side, which is huge. You're not giving away stuff.
No. So Cassie started off, gave us a 1-0 lead in the second, and then they did tie it up on a triple off Wheeler, Mitchell. But then Harper, which is great to see, homered to center, 2-run home run. We go up 3-1.
Yeah.
And then we got a insurance run. Schwarber reached on infield single, scoring Sosa. And then Turner, again, had 3 hits, single to center, made it 5-1. And, again, this is going to be the formula for winning playoff baseball where, obviously you need the offense, but the pitching formula where you have Wheeler goes 7, and then you can put it to the studs to nail it down.
Yeah.
And that game was so key because, again, we lost to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Now Milwaukee can only, if we lose on Wednesday, they can only gain 1 game on us, right? Because you split at that point. And we needed it because on Wednesday we lost, again, a very tight, winnable game. It was 2-1, and it was an RBI single in the 9th inning that got it.
It was a total of 9 hits in the ball game. So there's nothing like a well-pitched ball game.
And Nola was.
And guess who hurt us?
Yes.
Old boy Hoskins.
Yes, Hoskins, yes. He did it off Nola.
Yeah.
And Nola pitched a great game.
Yes, he did. I mean,
other than that home run, he gave up 2 more hits.
Yeah.
7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks. And then Kirkland came in. Estevez did give up that one, but at that point, it was sometimes you got to tip your hat to Milwaukee.
Yeah. I mean, it was a well-pitched ball game on both sides, but you just hate to see a well-pitched ball game. It's been a little bit of a common theme a little bit.
Right.
We tend to go in these funks a little bit when we face, like, quality pitching.
Yep, which is
we
not
can't
a good,
get to that.
Which
ace.
is not a good sign when we go into the playoffs.
Yeah, because but hey, if anything, we're due to do positive things like that. So is get the guys going in the right direction. I like the way Turner's swinging the bat. He's doing the little things. I'm not all about the home runs. Everybody else is all about the home runs. I'm all about getting the job done when you got men on base and scoring a run and pushing, manufacturing
and
a run.
especially getting these guys healthy too. We got Sosa back now. We got everybody back. All good. Knock on wood. All right. Coming up in the show, we will talk about the first 3 games against the Mets, and then we'll start talking about standings and magic numbers and all that. A lot to talk about. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA.
Generation Z members and millennials with young families. If you're looking for a great place to dine and watch all your favorite sporting events and you can't afford Center City restaurant prices, then settle back at the Pines Tavern in Bristol Borough. This is the place to take your family, including your children, for affordable, top-quality food, including their homemade meatloaf, pan-seared chicken breast, or their fish and chips, and plus many other dinner options. The Pines Tavern also has great sandwiches like their South Philly pork or their Angus burgers. Multiple TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events, and check out their Facebook page for live entertainment. The Pines Tavern, here yesterday, here today, and proud to serve the next generation of families at the Fork in the Road at Radcliffe Street in Bristol. Open 7 days from 11:30 a.m. and Sundays from noon.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern, Bristol, PA. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host, Tommy Greene. And Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, and conductors. As a Septa employee, you learn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, we'll take a little break of the Phillies because we got to get into
what you're getting ready to get into right now is one of the most amazing feats you're going to ever see.
Well, I talked about Rick Wise, who had 2 home runs and a no-hitter, which is arguably, I don't think you could ever beat that game from one person.
That's one of the best.
Right, because now Ohtani's the only one that could do it because Ohtani –
he's got the capability because
he's going to be pitching next year. So he could theoretically, could you imagine if he had This game offensively,
because he can do it because it's a DH now,
right?
Because he's going to be, they'll probably hit him and pitch him, So
picture if he did this, what he did offensively on Thursday night, along with the 1-hitter, no-hitter, 2-hitter, whatever shutout. First of all, he became the first player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a season.
That's a feat,
right?
I mean, you don't see that.
And you know how he did this because he homered 3 times and stole 2 bases and had 10 RBIs in a game of which they clinched the playoff. So it was a big game. Beat the Miami Marlins.
It was a football score, basically.
But he's the first player ever with 3 homers and 2 steals in a game. He doubled twice, had a career-best 6 hits, and set a Dodgers record with 10 RBI. And his 51 homers this season broke Sean Green's franchise record of 49.
Yep.
So he did that all, within the context of one game.
Can you spell the word freak?
I mean,
exactly
seriously,
what
now,
he is, man.
Chris Irmer said, now he could be on his way to a 60-60. Right now, he could easily be a 50-60. He could steal, 7 games left. He could steal. I don't know how many he has left for stolen bases, but the guy
he's got at least 52 we know of. 52 steals at least. He might have 54 by now.
I mean, it's literally one of the craziest. Again, you never would think that somebody could beat Rick Wise.
That feat here, what Rick did, no hitter plus 2 home runs. I mean, he won the game himself, so I don't know what the final score was that game, but he didn't need any, other than somebody playing defense behind him.
He's got 53 home runs, or 53 stolen bases, sorry.
Yeah.
53 stolen bases. So, they end up winning 24, I think. So, crazy stat.
I'd like to see that for the Eagles score today in our favor.
Yeah, 6 extra base hits, and I tell you what, there's just a lot of stars in baseball right now. Julio Rodriguez, went 4 for 6 yesterday, a home run, 4 RBIs.
Yeah.
He's hitting 371, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs last 22 games.
It's good to see him getting back going again. I didn't hear enough about him this year. He kind of scuffled early, didn't he?
He's starting to heat up. Yes.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz from the Reds. This guy's an exciting
a freaky guy too.
He's the 3rd Reds player with 25 plus home runs and 65 plus stolen bases in the same season.
He can fly, man. And he's big. He's like Ohtani. They list him as 6'4", 210. He's bigger than that. He's bigger than that.
De La Cruz is big. Kyle Tucker's has 2 straight 4-hit games. It's not bad either. And then, unfortunately, the guy that we're going to clamp down tonight, the catcher that you mentioned of the Mets, Francisco Alvarez.
He's on fire.
He's got 5 home runs, 13 RBIs in his past 9 games.
That's a dude he's just growing on me more not to like him anymore because he is a Met.
Yes.
And the way he goes around the bases and stuff like that. And I've never been a fan of all that crap.
Yeah.
So it makes it even worse.
We were talking off the air, us 3, and I said of the 4 major sports, I know most people, if you polled them in Philadelphia, and you said of the 4 major sports, and if you're a college sports fan, you can throw a college sport in there.
Yeah.
Right? So who are your least favorite teams? Now, I think 90% of the people in Philadelphia would say the Dallas Cowboys are number 1.
That was mine.
I don't even think they're in my top 5 because they've been so kind of irrelevant that I just, maybe back in the 70s, but right now for me it's the Mets, number 1.
Mets.
Right? I can't stand
That's because I played for the Phillies. I grew up without being around.
Right, Philadelphia.
A big area, but we were ACC basketball.
Right.
So that meant since I was a Tar Heel fan, I didn't like Duke. I hated Duke and NC State.
Right. Yeah, so for me, I've got Mets are easily number 1. Hockey, I don't like the Rangers, but they're not in my top 5. Don't like the Penguins either, but they're not in my top 5. Basketball, God, I hate the Celtics, but I'm not sure if they're in my top 5, and I hate the Bruins too. But then I go, and then obviously football, Cowboys and Giants, and Redskins. I lived down in D.C. and Virginia for many years, so Redskins are in my top.
I had favorite players that I liked off there, like how can you not like John Riggins back in the day? You know what I mean?
I respect.
I didn't like the team. I liked the guy.
I respect John Riggins, but But if you talk
as long as they weren't paying my team,
baseball, I would put the Mets and the Yankees ahead of the Braves. I don't really hate the Braves. I know you signed with the Braves and play with them. They've always been a class organization. And the guys on their team like Chipper Jones and Greg Maddux and all, you can't hate them. You got to respect them. Andrew Jones, they weren't flashy. They weren't in your face. And their fans were respectful. It's the Mets whose players are always like.
I just wanted to beat their faces in when we crossed the white lines out there to play them.
When the Mets had Jose, whatchamacallit, Jose. What's that?
What was his name?
Jose. Oh my God, I'm blanking. But that was back in 2007, and they take over the stadium.
That was the shortstop, wasn't it?
Drove me crazy. Yes, I'm going to come up with it at some point.
Yeah.
Listeners are out there saying
no.
We'll come up with it. All right, so the Mets, the stinking Mets, come into town.
That's the name.
And that first game on Thursday was not good. Again, not getting off to a good start. We lose 10-6.
Hey, that's just called. They come out and took us behind the shed.
They took Taijuan Walker to the shed because he went 3 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 4 home runs.
Well,
4 home runs.
As much as I hate to say this, he shouldn't sniff a mound again.
Probably won't unless, I know we have a bullpen game coming up this week. But I'm hoping that we
better be up like 12-1.
Jose Reyes, yes, Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes.
So, and the tough one on this game, Tommy, was our offense was good. We had 8 hits, 6 RBIs. We had a home run.
You score 6 runs, you should win a ball
by
game.
Turner.
Yeah.
We tried to fight, to get back into the game. In fact, at one point it was 9. It was 9-6 at a point, and then they kept going. They went to 10-6. Couldn't do it. So. No. That was, the Taijuan Walker game that, again, you're probably not going to see much. And I can't even imagine him being on the playoff roster because he's not bringing value to you.
And you can't get anybody out.
I suppose he's a great guy, and I feel terrible for him because, I know he wants to do well, but he just doesn't have it right now.
And he works hard. By judging what everybody says, he's a good presence in the clubhouse. It's not like he's a detriment.
Yeah, and he'll stick around. If you're not on the roster, you can still stick around.
But, it's the thing. He's just, you're not getting the job done, you're not getting it done.
No.
So, they got to make that decision. We got to have that body on the staff that can add, a plus sign to it. Yeah.
Well, then Friday night becomes key because we lose that first game of the series, and you don't want to get the momentum, the ball going downhill, and you really don't want that, especially the Mets, because they can, if they sweep, then they're right back in it, right?
Stinking mess.
So what a game! This is arguably one of the most important games of the season, and it didn't look good from the get-go because Sanchez pitching, and again his road splits are much worse than home splits, and Mets got off to a 2-0 lead. Iglesias had a home run, Nemo had the RBI ground out, but then we fight back in the second. Sosa gets a sac fly, good to see that, and then the third, Castellanos doubles, ties it up. And
then Sanchez gets it on track and pitches.
Gets out of situation. It was great. Yeah. And then this is against David Peterson, who's a good
The only
pitcher.
thing about that, you look at the thing, we touched about it all before the show. Look at the stat line on that. What was his issue a little bit? Was the men on base. Why did he get in trouble? Walks.
He
walked 5 in 5 innings.
He doesn't walk guys. So
he didn't give up 3 hits, so he didn't give up more hits than innings. If he does that, it's a different ball game.
And Sanchez doesn't walk guys. He doesn't walk guys. So
it's not typical.
But then I'm telling you, this is such a big. That 4th inning might have been the biggest inning that we've had. That's going to be like a very consequential inning because Rojas, again, off a good pitcher. Rojas gets a ground rule double, put him up 4-2. Turner gets a single 5-2. Then Bomer's home run just put it away 8-2. And at that point, you can basically, and then we add on in the 6th, we add on in the 8th.
Everybody in the lineup hit.
Night. It was that was such a
4 for 4 day from Bohm. 4 for 5 day from Bohm. It was a great day.
Such a big key game, and then Kirkring, Strom. Then at that point, we put Gilbert in there, and then Hoffman, so to get some work. So big game. So
that was huge.
And then that puts less pressure on the game last night, of which we fought, and it's good to see Suarez wasn't great, but Suarez also was much better.
Give up a couple runs in 5 innings.
Yeah, when 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs.
He's making that steady progress, it looks like.
His velocity was good, but his control was not there, but it's good. His velocity's getting better. And
3 walks in 5 innings, that's we talked about that. That was one of the things. We were like 3rd in baseball this past week of walking people.
Yep.
You know, I mean, walks given up. You know, and then you put extra people on base, and then you start giving up hits. That dictates a lot of things.
Dictates a lot of things, and then it's good to see Castellanos again. We talked about his last 4 home runs, if he tied or given us the lead. Well, he tied that game off Minaya. Minaya pitched great.
He's been a great surprise. And he's changed his mechanics a little bit, dropped his arm slot a little bit.
Yeah.
Different guy than what we saw out in Oakland a little bit a few years ago. I mean, and he was a decent pitcher back then, but now he's like, hey, they're one up in the top of the league right now. And the way he's done, he's what 12 or 13, 6 with like a 3 ERA.
He could be their number one starter when they enter the playoffs. Yeah. All right. Tommy, it's time now for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. What we did not talk about is Schwarber led off that game with his 15th.
How about that?
Which is a Major League Baseball record. He already set the record, so now he's extending that record. So he's now up to 15 leadoff home runs. It was his 36th long ball of the season. And you know, Tommy, yesterday that home run was his 900th career hit. I don't know if you knew
awesome.
that.
No,
900th career hit.
It was good to see him go to the left center on that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
When he's doing that, any hitter that is going the opposite way and driving the ball like that, you know they're swinging the bat pretty good.
And the Phillies are now, that's only our second loss. When he starts a game off with a home run, we were 13-1. We're now 13-2, and he starts off with a home run. So good for Kyle Schwarber. And that was your Philly Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. All right, Tommy, coming up on the show, we're going to get you set up for today's game.
Yep.
We won't have the lineup because it's on ESPN tonight. We'll talk about the Phils. We'll talk about the standings. We'll talk about magic numbers. And we'll even talk a little Eagles. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA.
Generation Z members and millennials with young families. If you're looking for a great place to dine and watch all your favorite sporting events and you can't afford Center City restaurant prices, then settle back at the Pines Tavern in Bristol Borough. This is the place to take your family, including your children, for affordable, top-quality food, including their homemade meatloaf, pan-seared chicken breast, or their fish and chips, and plus many other dinner options. The Pines Tavern also has great sandwiches, like their South Philly pork or their Angus burgers. Multiple TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events, and check out their Facebook page for live entertainment. The Pines Tavern, here yesterday, here today, and proud to serve the next generation of families at the Fork in the Road at Radcliffe Street in Bristol. Open 7 days from 11:30 a.m. and Sundays from noon.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
At Penn Community Bank, our commitment to helping our customers and communities grow and thrive drives everything we do. Whether you are just starting out or setting new goals, we have the checking solutions that can flex to your needs at any life stage. And for a limited time, you can earn a $300 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer subject to change. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-hosts Tommy Greene and Tita.
Brazier.
Big game tonight, ESPN, Mets.
Yep. I didn't realize it was that until you told me.
Yeah,
So
it's a big night game. It's it's going to be going up against Monday night or Sunday night football.
Yeah.
But right now we got Zach Wheeler on the mound. Yeah. Zach Wheeler is 16-6. He is in the running for the Cy Young. Now Chris Sale probably has one more start.
Yeah, Chris Sale. You can't say enough about him. What he's meant to the Braves this year is unbelievable.
That's one of the greatest acquisitions of a team this year. But Zach Wheeler, it's a shame because if he wins today, and he has 2 more starts, potentially 2 more starts. So he's 16-6, 2.56 ERA, a .95 WHIP, very good. And he's going up against McGill's right-handed pitcher, 4-5, 4.08 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. Yeah. So 7 o'clock game, ESPN. Don't miss it. Very big.
I'm calling something. For somebody to wake up against this guy.
Who got?
Harper.
Oh, well,
Harper's like 2 for 10 off him.
Is that right?
Yeah. I was like,
it's
time for him with like no ribbies, no homers. The 2 hits. It was like, okay, it's time for him to pick the click.
Time for him to step up. All right, let's go through the standings here. So we'll start with the American League. So the Yankees, 91-64 record. They're 5 games ahead of Baltimore. They're going to win that division.
Yeah.
Okay? You got Cleveland, who's already won the division. They're 90-66 in the Central.
Yeah.
You got Houston, who's going to win that division. They're 85-70. So all those divisions in the American League are
decided.
So then it comes down to the wild card. Now, Baltimore is pretty safe. They're 4.5 games up for that top wild card spot. The Kansas City Royals are behind them by 4 games. And they're not really safe because there's a little pileup.
Minnesota, it's got Kansas City in it right now as a plus, isn't it?
0.0, but they're a half game
up.
They're a half game up on the 2 teams behind, or 2 teams behind them.
Yeah.
Minnesota is 81-73. They're a half game on Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then they're a game up on Detroit, who's playing good ball.
How about them, man?
Yeah, first winning record in a long time. They're 81-74. So, and then Seattle's only a game and a half out. So
it's coming down to the end.
Yeah, there's 3 teams: Minnesota, 4 teams: Kansas City, Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle, fighting for 2 of those spots. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, then going to the National League. Fighting Phils have the best record in Major League Baseball, 92-63, along with the Dodgers, exact same record. We do have the tiebreaker. We have 1 game ahead of the Yankees, which could be important because, if we face them in the World Series, we'll have home field advantage. So Phils have a lot to play for in the last 7 games.
Yeah.
So Mets are 6 games back, so the division should be good to go unless there's an epic 1964.
Well, we need to win today. Let's just get that out of the question and get out of and just get things going like we should here at the end.
So Milwaukee's won their division. They're 9 games up on the Cubs, 88-67. And then the Dodgers, as I mentioned, are 3 games up. San Diego, they don't have it. Again, that's a big. They're only 3 games up.
Yeah.
Now the key thing is, as I mentioned, we are tied with the Dodgers for. We need to be 2 best records in the National League to get a bye.
Yeah.
Which is so key. So we are even with the Dodgers, but we have the tiebreaker. So in a sense, we are up. We are 4 games up on Milwaukee with 7 games left.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty good. Milwaukee does play the Mets, who are still going to be battling for that position.
Mets are playing. I mean, they're tough, man.
Very tough.
They give people give you trouble. Yeah.
Very tough. So Milwaukee 4 games back, and again we have the tiebreaker there, which is good. So I'd love to stay ahead of everybody so we can If we face the Dodgers in the NLCS, we have the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Because obviously Citizens Bank Park is crazy to play. So here's the wild card situation. The Padres, who are probably the best team coming up since the All-Star break.
Can't forget about those dudes. They're playing good, too.
They're 89-66, and I think they even get
they're 8-2 in the last 10, too.
Yeah, and I think they get whatchamacallit, their pitcher. Who's the pitcher from Japan they have?
Oh, yeah. Shot. No, that's the Dodgers.
He's been
Darvish.
out. Yes, Darvish. He's been out for most of the year. So I think he's going to be coming back if he's not back already.
I think he's back already.
Yeah. So that's a tough, team right there.
Cease and Musgrove.
No, you don't want to face.
They're playing good ball right now, man.
You don't want to face them in a series. So San Diego has a top record. Then Arizona is 87-68, but Arizona is only one game up on the Mets, and then Atlanta is the only other one that can climb back in. Atlanta's 2 games back behind the Mets.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing is they play each other. They play each other coming up. So that the destination or destiny is in Atlanta's hands if they want to overtake the Mets. I'm not sure who I want in that series because Atlanta's going to get guys back if they make the playoffs. They could get Austin Riley back. Albies just came back. Right, so they could even though they're banged up.
Yeah.
Or do you want that or the Mets? And the Mets are fairly healthy, although they'll get Lindor back, right?
They're hoping that they get him back, but the back is a finicky thing. So I mean, you never like to see anybody get hurt.
Right.
But. You never know if you're going to get those guys back as far as the back's concerned. Sort of like what Ranger went through. We thought it was just going to be maybe a 5-day thing, miss a start, and come back. What did that?
Backs are tricky. So here's some magic numbers. To clinch the National League East is 1. So obviously we win today. We win the National League East, which would be great with Wheeler on the mound. Obviously,
that's the best, pretty good opportunity.
And if we
to
don't do it today, then obviously we just got to win one of our games, or the Mets lose one of their games.
Yeah.
So pretty much National League East would be great. Is going to be a given, should be, and that would be the first one since 2011. The magic number to clinch a bye in the division series to get one of those top 2 spots is 3. So that means a Brewers loss. A combination of Brewers losses, Phillies wins 3, and we get that bye, which is all important.
Yeah.
Phillies' magic number to clinch the number 1 seed in the National League is 7, and that includes the Dodgers. So, so that we can clinch tonight again, NL East. The earliest possible clinch date for a bye to the division series is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see all that. All right. Chris Irmer wanted me to tell you his least favorite teams. Number 5 is the Saints. Number 4 is the Party Animals. They're the ones that play against Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, I see you, Chris.
I like your third one, Astros. They're right in there because the cheating scandal and the fact that they beat us. In the World Series. I forgot about them. Yankees number 2, Mets 1. So.
Yeah. Stinking Mets.
Yes, I think that's pretty good right there.
Mets.
I'd put Duke basketball in there. For me personally, Virginia Tech football is in there, but whatever. Duke basketball is.
I always had favorite guys from every team, though. I mean, even though I didn't like Duke or NC State, I still enjoyed the athletes.
Billy King's the only one I like from the. Well, J.J. Redick, I met him a couple times when he played for the Magic, and Cameron Nelson would take him in.
Oh, he was a pain in the butt. Yeah. You see him playing Duke, you didn't like him.
No. All right, Tommy, give me your prediction for the Fighting Phils tonight, and then for the Saints-Eagles game, which will start in 3 minutes. What do you got?
Well, hey, I tell you what, for us, for the Phillies, we got a great opportunity to get it done today where I met with our number 1 guy on the mound, so I'm looking forward to that getting done this evening. Now, to get to the Eagles, we kind of hit on that a little early. I'm a little iffy on that. Our defense has got to step up. If they don't, we're in the world of hurt.
All right, you heard it right there, and that wraps up today's Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA, live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. Thanks to the good folks here, including Ashley, the bartender here at Pines Tavern, for hosting us today. Thanks also to my co-host, Tommy Greene, our on-site, engineer, Chris Irmer. He's got a coughing spot. Back in the studio, Brooks St. Ives. We'll be back here next Sunday at the Pines Tavern from 12 to 1 before the Phillies take on the New York Mets. No, we're not playing.
We're not playing the Mets.
No, we're not playing the Mets. We're playing the
Washington.
Why did I just have that? Yes, the Nats. Sorry, we'll be back here for the Phillies take on the Nationals. Thank you.
Yep.
Till then, have a great weekend. As the late great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.